Welcome to A Better Chance for Youth television show with your host, Monique Robinson, where we highlight, celebrate, and recognize students from all over the country who are doing great things in the classroom, community, and athletics. Every student deserves an opportunity for hope and a future. So let's celebrate our students, the next generation of teachers, engineers, entrepreneurs, and future leaders. Join us on another incredible segment of A Better Chance for Youth show with your host, Monique Robinson.
Welcome everybody. I am your wonderful host, Dr. Monique Robinson, and we are here today. I kind of miss doing the scholarship kids, but hey, we got to get back to the basics. So if you have not completed your application for this year, you got a couple days to get it. I think that application time closes. You can still join, but the fee might go up. So right now, to join as a member is $65, but to join as a board member, we only have 2 slots left because somebody already applied, and keep my fingers crossed for her. She seemed like she has a lot to bring to the table. So I can't wait so you can meet our new team members. Now, if you haven't been paying attention to some things that have been going on, I have been doing some unique things in San Antonio. And one of the things is, I have a love for the arts in any form, shape, or fashion. Now, I love the arts. Most people know I don't know if I can still call that though, like a little bit. I was a vocalist because I don't really sing as much as I want or used to, but I do sing now. When I need to, I do. But being that I grew up in the arts, I learned to appreciate all of the arts. So I can't draw, can't do anything with visual arts or just that type of art, but I do respect it. Like, I like to go to a museum or two. So today we have a wonderful guest here in our own backyard. She is, she's in San Antonio, but it's funny how I meet people, but I think I should let y'all know, let her tell you how we actually met. And when you hear the story from her, when I bring her on, you probably will laugh. So after this commercial break, I am going to bring on our special guest today. And we also have a couple of special announcements that I know you guys will love. So after this break, I'm going to bring her on, and we're going to have some fun today with our guests.
Are you interested in attending an historically Black college or university? Hello, my name is Robert Mason. I'm president and founder of the Common Black College application. Our application allows students to apply to over 50 historically Black colleges and universities at the same time for only $20. HBCU graduates have been some of the most renowned individuals in their respective fields since the late 1800s. In addition to that, our faculty and staff are truly committed to your success, and they have a vested interest in seeing that you do well. That, coupled with the academic rigor and the fact that you will establish lifelong relationships, are just some of the many benefits of your attending an historically Black college or university. So if you're interested in completing the Common Black College app, visit our website at commonblackcollegeapp.com to apply now. Thank you, and get educated.
Welcome back. I told y'all after the break I was going to have my special guest here, with me. So welcome to A Better Chance television show with me, of course, Dr. Monique Robinson. So tell us who you are. Now, I did tell the audience, we kind of met in a unique way, but I said you'll tell them that story. But tell us who you are. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. My name is Maria M. Williams, and I am the owner and curator of In the Eye of the Beholder Art Gallery, which is the only Black art gallery here in San Antonio, Texas. I'm also the founder of the Art of Four art initiative, where we advocate for all the arts, and we specifically advocate for Black and minority artists. So how we met. I was given the honor by San Antonio African American Community Archive and Museum here in San Antonio during Juneteenth to do a proclamation for, oh my goodness, what is the gentleman's name? Excuse me.
Bobby Jones.
Bobby Jones. For Bobby Jones. I should not ever forget Bobby Jones because he used to wake me up every Sunday morning because that's how my mom got me up.
Right.
But we were at True Vision, and I remember seeing you, and I was like, that's the HBCU lady. That's the HBCU lady. And then so all I could do, because I did not know her name, and I had been trying to get a hold of her because I wanted to bring a component of the HBCUs to be a part of our Juneteenth celebration somehow, some way. So I got so excited, and I was like, HBCU lady, HBCU lady, because it was crowded. And I said, I am sorry. I said, I'm excited. I've been wanting to see you. I've been looking for you. I said, but I couldn't think of your name. And all I kept saying was HBCU lady. I would tell people, y'all know the HBCU lady. So that we had we had encountered one another before, but never, I don't think, ever formally met. But I knew that face, and I was like, HBCU lady, yay! And I was just so happy to finally get to meet her, and then learn her name was Monique Robinson.
I mean, well, see, if I would have told them, they probably wouldn't have believed it. Like, it's comical, but honestly, you are not the only person in the city, even outside the city, that have labeled that as my name. So
well, you made your mark with us. You're like, Monique Robinson, who's that? But I know the HBCU lady. So, but, yeah.
It's at least I'd rather be called that than some other name. So hey,
and there you have it. And this also means you're doing good works. You're doing good works for the HBCUs and
right.
The children of the community, our youth. So
thank you. Now I have been amazed ever since I've been to the gallery at the previous location. Mm-hmm. But I have been so amazed by the actual art, and yeah, anybody who know me personally, like I own it for myself. Like I cannot cut in a straight line. I cannot draw. Can't even really draw a stick figure. But when I walked in there, and some of her artists are there, and they think I play because I actually tell them when I'm there, like I don't know how to do this, but can you teach me? And I'd be so sincere, and they're like, no. But anyway. If you have not been, like, tell us how you even got to that point. Like, you have some amazing art, by the way.
Well, thank you. Well, how we started the gallery, the initiative was what I started first, the Art of Four. The Art of Four came about because, every city has its woes and its ills. And here in San Antonio, I took notice that we didn't have representation of Black artists, and yet I knew wonderful Black artists here in this city. And I was literally, just home watching the news, and there were grants being given out, and they were speaking to some artists who had been awarded grants, and none of those artists looked like me. And I wanted to know why. So I picked up the phone. I called a gentleman who is an artist here in San Antonio, and I said, hey, do you know about all these grants that are being given out? And he said, yes. I said, well, I noticed that, no one looked like us that were being awarded these grants. And this gentleman said to me, that is normal. And I'm the wrong person. I said, no, that's not normal, but we've allowed it to be normal. So they may feel it's normal, but that's what we allowed. And so I told him how I felt, got off the phone, and really tried to figure it out. How do we change that? how do we change that? Because I know so many talented Black artists in this city, and I want to know why they weren't getting the same opportunities as other artists. Um, and how do I do that? And literally, I just started making phone calls, meeting with those artists that I admired and I knew, uh, at a coffee shop and saying, "Hey, this is what I've taken notice of here in our city." And they, of course, again saying, "Yeah, that's the norm." And I said, "Well, how do we change that?" I said, "For me, we've got to change that." So literally started meeting in coffee shops. And in my mind, it was, I wanted us to meet, become a united front, and be somewhat ambassadors in our city, and find those opportunities for Black artists, or make those opportunities for Black artists. And so the first thing I thought to do after meeting with them, and I had 4 artists that I had already admired. And one young lady is by the name of Claudette Hopkins. Claudette Hopkins had been creating here in San Antonio for over 50 years at that time, 50, 60 years. There was a young lady named Akime Davis, who I just loved her work. Caldrick Dow, and Wardell Paquette. And I love their work. And I said, this is what I plan on doing. I plan on going around and advocating for Black artists. And I want the 4 of you to be the first 4. Well, then it ended up that we started calling ourselves, the Art of 4. And we made an introductory video highlighting those artists. And then I just went around, and anyone who would give us some sort of space to let us do, now what I now call pop-up exhibits. That's what we did. We did the very first exhibit we did was at a young woman's house, a dear friend of mine by the name of Ruthie. And Ruthie was thinking about moving to Houston. So she has a big, beautiful home with great windows. I love light. And I said to Ruthie, because she had cleared out our house with the anticipating that she was moving. And I said, this would be a great space for an art exhibit. And bless her heart, she said, "Oh, Maria, all you got to do is tell me when. You are more than welcome. I would love that." And Ruthie is most definitely an avid art collector as well. And then I looked at her, because I'm one to always try and push the envelope. I said, this would actually make a great space for a 2-day art show. And once again, she said, "Maria, just tell me when, let me know." And that's how the first exhibit started. For me, because it still was her home, I did not make it public. Well, come to find out, she did. She made it public. She put it in her, I guess, neighborhood, newspaper, and then she told friends, and people came by. And these artists people were amazed. People were happy. Of course, now we also used their client list. So some of their clients came from as far away as Austin. I think there might have been a couple that came in from Houston for one of the artists. But yeah, and it was a great art show. One of the things that I also try and advocate is for them to know their worth, right?
That's good.
We had an artist by the name of Keldrick Dow who he brought his artwork and I saw what he was charging. And I said, you've got to teach the public the value, not your worth, but the value of your work.
Wow.
So the choice is yours. Either put a 1 in the front or a 0 in the back, and let's get it going. And and I think he believed that we were overpricing his work until he started selling his work.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course Miss Claudette, who is a seasoned artist, she was no joke, so I didn't even have to worry about what she was putting on her work. And the same with the Kime. Kime was pretty solid on her value of her work, and Wardell Pickett. And so we had a wonderful 2-day show, and I was so proud of these artists. I was so proud of what we had accomplished, right out the stall. And I thought, this is a good thing. And next thing you know, some of them told friends, other artists started learning about the initiative. And then as time went on and we were growing from, 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8. And I remember saying, so what do we do? Do we change the name from the Art of 4 to the Art of 8? Or is it going to be every time we have people, we're going to change the name, And overwhelmingly, everyone said, no, we are the Art of 4. And so the Art of 4 stuck with us, the Art of 4 Art Initiative.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, and from that we really just grew. People learned about the initiative. Artists learned about the initiative. We were invited to be a part of different art exhibits. A gentleman by the name of Vince Davis with the Express News found out about us and contacted us that was our first interview.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, I was so excited. I told the artist, I was like, oh, this man wants to interview us. And then we were thinking, where are we going to interview? So I contacted the Carver Community Cultural Center. That was the executive director, Cassandra Parker Nowicki. And I told her, hey, Cassandra, could we use a space somewhere at the Carver to be interviewed? And she let us, use the Joe Long Theater, and Vince Davis interviewed each artist, interviewed myself, and then we did a little photo shoot. And that was our first, that was the first.
That was your premiere. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, exactly. Being introduced to the public. And so you never know who's watching. Not long after that, I received a phone call from a young lady by the name of Andrea Vocab Sanderson. And she had told me, she goes, Maria, there's a gentleman who's looking for you. And I think you might want to speak with him. He's in the arts and so on and so forth. And I was like, okay. I don't remember who called who or how we exchanged numbers or what, but I got on the phone with a young man who is unbelievable in his own right. And his name is Rigoberto Luna. And he is an artist. His wife is also an artist, but they own Pressa House in the King William area. And he got on the phone with me and he says, I just want you to know that I nominated the Art of 4 for Contemporary Art Month. I'm so new. I was like, and that is, because I had no idea what Contemporary Art Month was.
That's a big deal, though.
He explained it to me, and he says, and you were voted overwhelmingly to win. You're being recognized, and the gift to us and what was presented to us was a reception at Art Pace, San Antonio, downtown.
That's
Now,
nice.
Art Pace, so I was like, "Ooh, that's big time, isn't it?" Art Pace.
Yeah, it is.
And then he said, and the reception will be with, at that time, we were just coming out of COVID, really. You know, we were still at the edge. And there was a young woman, artist by the name of Alicia Wormsley, and she had a traveling banner, and
Wow.
that banner read, "There are Black people in the future. There will be
Mm,
Black people in the future." And you know, the purpose of that is during COVID, it was our communities that were devastated, you know, the
mhm.
lack of healthcare
Resources for
or
everyone.
access to healthcare.
Mhm.
And so we went, and so we had the reception, but before that, Art Pace had the banner on their building, and we did a photo shoot with Art Pace, and the banner in back of us saying there will be Black people in the future. And I was overwhelmed. I really was. I thought we have to be on the right path. We have to be on the right path because of the way things were falling in line and the alignment of things. And thrilled to death, even though Miss Wormsley was not traveling, she did join us, uh, you know, via virtual means. And I have to tell you that when she was speaking and the audience was listening there at Art Pace, and I remember hearing my name coming out of her mouth, and I thought, God, this is it. This is my purpose. This is my mission. This is what you have me to do. Now, yes, I'm doing it through the arts, but one of the things that I notice is, and I call myself, and I've been told that I'm an art activist. And I started that because I was on LinkedIn one day and I was reading about this organization in Dallas. And I remember, oh my God, I'm reading my story. I'm reading my inspiration. This is the same. These folks are doing the same thing I am. And so I contacted them. And next thing you know, they had invited me to an event in Dallas. Um, and I went, and they offered me a job. And I thought, how is this? You know, again, to me, that was uh, the okay from God. I'm not a religious person. Anyone will tell you, because so many people think because I don't go to a church or a mega church that I don't have a relationship with God. But I think God, the God that I worship, is beyond the walls of any church. And so I just was like, okay, you're letting me know with every step that you have ordained, and I'm following. Nothing but positivity has happened.
That's true. Now, and it's been what? This your fifth year now, too.
We just celebrated year. Yes, we just celebrated our 5th year. And again, I am pleasantly surprised, extremely proud. I know that when I first started and people would pat me on the back or say things, and I would shy away from it. I would think it is not me. And I still believe it is not me. But then there comes
It's your passion and purpose, though. So that's why it doesn't feel like that.
right. Then there came a point in my life where I realized it was my passion and my purpose. And no matter what was said or done to me, it is what was comforting me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I had some, extreme exchanges in my life and transitions. And I got up every day and went to that gallery, and it it was still, it was my comfort. At the same time, I was like, am I making it up, or is this truly my comfort? But
Well,
it,
it's a piece. If you have not been to the gallery, I encourage you to go. It's something for everybody there anyway. No matter how old you are, even the younger ones. And then also, it's so many valuable lessons of the pieces that are there. And one thing I do know, and I've seen it, where Miss Maria welcomes young people. Some people like, don't bring them kids here because they're gonna tear my stuff up. She's like, no, they know.
they
And
do.
I've seen it with my own eyes that she has had young people in there and they just be so mesmerized. I think that one toddler one day just stood and just looked up at the painting, and so I'm like, I guess they won't tear nothing up because they just
No, they won't. They won't. And that's why I encourage parents to bring their children when they walk in and they see these images, especially Black and Hispanic children, where they don't get that opportunity,
Mhm.
right? That I've seen, and you've seen it. I don't care how rambunctious they are. Once they walk in and they're like, "Oh, okay, wait a minute." I had a young girl come in last Friday, and her parents were like, this is the first time she's ever been in a gallery. And I just sat there and watched her as she did not move, but her eyes were everywhere.
Oh
She
wow.
stood in one place and her eyes were everywhere. And I told her, I said, please leave, let her be. You know, she was just taken. And I thought to myself, at that particular moment in time, we may have discovered an artist.
Yes, she was in her
That's
element.
yeah, truly, and that for me means everything. Impact, and that's what I love about what I do. The impact on our community, on our children. We have the opportunity to facilitate art classes for Ella Austin Community Center one summer. Um,
That's nice.
and, and then just recently, some of those same children and an artist that I met at Ella Austin, who I had to remind her she was an artist. Um,
Oh
and
wow.
she was awarded a mural, and she took some of those same children that were in those art classes, and they did a mural for a local garden, community garden.
That's
And
beautiful.
the young lady called me. She says, I want you to know that I've titled this mural In the Eye of the Bee Holder because it was about bees. And she goes, that's in honor of you and your gallery, Miss Maria.
Oh,
And those are the things, those impactful things, because those children will probably do the same thing, right? The impact that was given to them, I hope carries on. The impact that was immersed in that young lady and stirred up in her, because I think her parents seriously told me she was 3 or 4 years
yes.
old.
She was
Um,
she was awakened by the pieces that were in there, and
yes,
I see
absolutely.
something new every time I go, and I'm like, I just stopped trying to act like I know my way around it because I don't. Because every time I go, it's a different thing, a different artist, a different design. So I mean,
But it should all of it should stir you. It shouldn't be just one style, one piece, one artist.
hmm
I'm glad to hear that all of it stirs you. I'm glad to hear that something new. You're like, oh, now this artist. I love that. I love
Because I
that.
was like, that wasn't here last time. He was like, no, it wasn't. And then you just kept on moving. I was like, okay, well,
It wasn't.
I am not ashamed. When I don't know something, I am not ashamed. I have no shame in
And
saying,
that's
hey,
okay. Last year I had a young lady speak at our 4th anniversary, and it popped up, how Instagram or something, it popped up. And so I watched her, and she mentioned how she went to school. She's an executive director now of an arts program. And how she went to school, she was always in the arts. And she pointed out, she said, and Maria just did it, not knowing anything. You don't have to know something when you do something right. If you just do the
that's
right
true.
things,
That's true.
right? And I learned in some cases trial by fire. I learned, and so and I tell people now that I'm learning. I'm talking about 3 years old and young children, but this past Juneteenth, when I had, these college students working in the gallery, and I sit
Wow.
back and I think about how much I learned from them. And this is not bragging, but this is me understanding the importance of my work. How all of these students, because the majority of them were college students, said to me, thank you for giving us a space.
That's
Thank you
good.
for giving us a place that we could come and create. And that is what is important to me. I think a sense of belonging and a sense
Mhm.
of cultural pride. I really push that. And I have told people who have come into my gallery, when I talk about cultural pride, it is your cultural pride. For me, I'm a
Yes.
Black woman, right? You may be Hispanic. Have cultural pride. In everything that you do, you should be prideful in who you are. You should walk in that power, because when you have sense of self, you have power.
That's
And
true.
it is absolutely true. There was a time I lost myself. And when I started remembering the woman that I was, the woman that I am, and the woman that I am becoming, um, even with all that, I can't help but walk in my power.
Well, that's good. Well, look, we have to take a short commercial break. But when we come back, you never told us where the gallery is. So I want you to tell us that when we come back right
Okay.
after this.
What if your greatest breakthrough was on the other side of your story? Inspire Me Moments, Living Out Loud with No Regrets by Anthony Harris Brown isn't just a memoir, it's a mirror, a movement, and a map to becoming who you were meant to be. Through raw honesty, spiritual insight, and empowering reflections, you'll unpack your past, embrace your scars, and rise stronger. This book is for the dreamers, the educators, the men learning to breathe again, the women reclaiming their worth, and the leaders who lead with heart. You'll find real stories of trauma and triumph, tools for healing, and moments that remind you the cape was never in the closet, it's always been in you. Inspire Me Moments. Live out loud with no regrets and all heart. Get your copy today everywhere books are sold.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I am here with she is like the premier artist now. But seriously, guys, this is Miss Maria. She is the founder, the curator. I might be saying it wrong, so she might have to correct me. Of I'm gonna get it right today, I promise. In the Eye of the Beholder Art Gallery. San Antonio's only Black art gallery. And if you haven't been, you are definitely missing a treat. Like some days I go there and act like I'm going to see Miss Maria, but honestly, I'm going to see what new pieces she may have, because it's always something new. So how do we get to the gallery?
So we are located in historic St. Paul Square here in San Antonio, which is off of Commerce. Our address is 123 Hyman. We are located on the third floor. If you are familiar with the east side of San Antonio, I like to call us the east side entry into downtown San Antonio. The history of St. Paul Square is one that our community should hold dear and hold in reverence. If you know anything about like the Harlem Renaissance, sometimes this is the best way for me to explain it to people. I say that St. Paul Square was San Antonio's Harlem Renaissance. Um, I have folks that come into the gallery and who share with me up to last Friday at the market, share with me riding their bikes up and down, St. Paul Square, playing on the train tracks, which nowadays would probably get a parent put in jail. But having great, great memories of places like the Cameo Theater. The building is still there in St. Paul Square. I even, for myself, putting my business in the street, there was a nightclub that I used to go to. Speakeasies are real popular, so a lot of these clubs, it wasn't called a speakeasy back then. It was just a club that was downstairs under a building. But yeah, St. Paul Square has a lot of history. And so it's quite an honor for me to be in that location. I can't help but thank Don Thomas for seeing the value in what I do. When he came into the gallery, our original location, and he asked about how I switched out work, how I rotate the artwork. And I shared it with him, and I said, but as of this week, the gallery would be closing. And he literally just turned to me and said, but you're the only one doing what you do. You're the only one. And told me, come check out St. Paul Square. Let's see, what we can work out. And I just told him the other day, I said, I thank you. I thank you for recognizing what I did, because you allowed me to see my 5th year of having an art gallery, and having an art gallery in St. Paul Square, which is oh so significant.
Well, congratulations again on that. I was there Saturday, y'all, but y'all know my weakness. I hate getting lost, even though I do all the time. So I was not going to take that chance at getting lost in the dark if I would have stayed. But I was glad that I was there for a moment to celebrate and look at some new pieces. She got a nice new, I don't remember the artist's name, but those.
Her name is Yolanda Cooper. Yolanda Cooper. And, Yolanda was actually brought to us by a young lady named Georgia Williams, who's an artist a fiber artist out of Houston. And Georgia says, Maria, I think I have another great artist that I think you'd really like. And when she sent me her work, her website, I was amazed at that artist, but I also remembered that work. I said, I did not know, I didn't have the opportunity to meet her, but we were blessed to be able to go to the Harlem Fine Arts Show. We represented our gallery.
You be everywhere. You need to, I can't draw, but I can do some speeches. I can put a speech together like I did it.
Yeah, and so I remember seeing this young lady's work at the Harlem Fine Arts Show, and then she came down to meet with me, and a few weeks passed by, and I was like, darn it, because I hadn't heard from her. But then she contacted me and she goes,
Wow.
would you still like me to be an artist of your gallery? And I said, of course. And she brought her work down, signed her contract. And so now we represent her art here in San Antonio. And we'll be representing her art in Harlem at the Fine Art Show when we attend again this year. Well, actually
When is
next year,
that? So I can go.
2026. Well, we were invited back again.
Oh my
I'm
God. I'm in the
I'm
wrong
very
profession.
proud.
I need to take up
Yeah,
art.
yeah. I was very proud when the CEO of the Harlem Fine Arts Show
Wow.
called and invited us back. And
Well, congratulations. Look at you. Does
thank you. Well,
he
I
got
spoke on a panel. I did speak on a panel while I was there and
wow.
made some wonderful kinships, friendships.
I
We
love
met
it.
some great artists. As you know, we were just invited to Barbados,
I know I'm
for
going.
for an
If
art
my
show.
figure gonna sell for $1
So,
million, and I'm going. I'm gonna make
yeah,
it.
so you heard me go, oh my God, when I opened up the email and the invitation to
That's
participate. So,
congratulations.
I'm
Seriously,
proud.
what do I need to do so I can get my picture on the wall and go to Barbados?
Well, let's have a conversation.
Oh Lord, y'all know she said let's have a conversation. That's her way of telling me, look,
Well,
you
but
can't go.
that one of the things that people always ask me, how do you get your artists? You know, I
Yes,
I will say that I no longer have to seek artists, even though I still am
look at that.
amazed. I have so many people either sending me artists. The Harlem Fine Art Show has really deemed our gallery a gallery that they send a lot of Texas artists to.
Love it.
And it makes me really proud. I
As
prayed
you should
for,
be.
huh?
As you
Yeah,
should be.
I prayed for a particular level, a particular type of artist, one with not only passion and talent, but one with ethics, one who understands what it is that I do. You know, that it takes a special artist that also has to realize their art is more than them.
You had to know your value.
Yeah,
That's
it
because
is.
I would look at it. I know I do it a lot, and my friends fuss at me all the time because I'm like, well, I get it eventually. But lately, uh, Miss Maria, I don't really consider her friend. She remind me of my older sister, so that's why I relate to her. Y'all, just saying. But she does. Sometimes I'm like, ooh. She's like, no, you're not. And so I'm glad that I have people in my life that will be like, look, that's not gonna work. You need to charge for this. And sometimes I'm like, but this is my mission. Yeah, people pay their tithes at church. You need to be paid too. So I get it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
doing better.
yeah.
But Miss Maria, we got to take our last commercial break, and when we come
Okay.
back, I think we can tell them this special
Oh,
collaboration
okay. Yes,
that we have right
yes.
after.
Celebrate the excellence of HBCUs with the HBCU Trivia Game. This board game provides an exciting and educational way to learn about notable alumni, historical events, sports news, and more. This trivia game is sure to be a hit and perfect for college-bound youth, alumni, and the entire family. Don't miss out on this opportunity to support, educate, and entertain Get the HBCU Trivia Game today. Go to hbcutriviagame.net to order.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm in here with Miss Maria from In the Eye of the Beholder Art Gallery. If you have not been, I will say this. Please go check her out. It is some amazing things. You go once, you go back the next time, it's going to be something different. And y'all know me. I'm so nosy. I'm like, that wasn't there, but I don't want to ask her because what if it was and I just didn't see it? So just saying.
Ooh,
Just saying. So, you guys, who have followed us forever know that every February, really every day, but every February we started off honestly doing a essay contest. And I've taught and been in education for going, over 25 years. And I get tired of reading essays. And then the kids, with Chat GPT and everything out, they really not writing it anyway. Just kidding. They might, but I don't want to take that chance. So this year and last year, we did a thing. And some of you all, if you had me as a teacher, y'all probably remember this project because every year people look forward to doing it. Uh, the Living Wax Museum. And in our Living Wax Museum, the young people become African American historic figurines. Now, so we don't do the essay contest anymore, but however, you can have your spiel and you get a rubric and get everything like that. But this year, guess what, guys? We are working with Miss Maria and we will have the Living Wax Museum. So parents, if you've been waiting on this application, it will go out tomorrow. I promise. So, and y'all don't trust me with art. So look, I got legitimate artists that are going to judge this year. So we cannot thank Ms. Maria enough for allowing us to use the space and allowing the community to actually see this amazing artwork that exists in the gallery. So this year's competition will be on February 1st. I have to kick off, African American History Month, even though if you're around me, you're going to learn a fact every day because it's 365 to me. But I'm so excited because I was sitting there and she was setting up the other day for another event. I'm like, how are we going to get 20 kids? Because we cut it off at 20. So if you don't sign up, I'm sorry. That's up to Ms. Maria. We can hold more people in there. We might have to do some preliminaries based off of how many people actually apply. Now, the contest, you do get prizes. You do. Last year, we gave out cash and no, we didn't give out cash. We stopped doing that. We gave out trophies last year. But what we do want is people in the community to support because then you get to see the gallery and you get to see some of the most amazing young people bring these historic figurines to life. Like last year, we had one little girl, Miss Maria, and I had to go back and push her her thing like a couple times because I wanted to hear her speech. Like these young people went all out. So you heard it. I'm not judging, so they can't be mad at me.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Are we having the two judges? So myself and we have another artist from the gallery. Carmen Cartoonist Johnson will be joining me in the judging.
Yes, and we usually have 3 just in case it's a swing type of vote. So if you have another artist in your Rolodex, because I do not want anybody to say that Miss Monique was biased or Dr. Monique is. But I don't judge any of our
artists as well, so that we have 3. And that makes sense. Yeah, that does.
I don't judge any of our contests. Like I really don't. Like I don't judge because most people know my heart. I would try to pick everybody. Okay, you get this. I was one of those type of, But in order to win, you gotta know how to lose a little bit. So,
absolutely,
that's my take on it. So before
that's everyone. That's life. That's life. Sometimes you gotta lose to win. To be quite honest.
See,
that's a Maria fact. Probably a old woman Maria fact, but it is a fact.
I told y'all she act like my big sister. She act like her for real in real life. Some days I just be like, okay, yes, ma'am. So before we go, Miss Maria, I want you one more time, just in case somebody came in late, or they might just be turning their radio station late as well. Because Miss Maria, we're not just on Daily Gospel Network, Daily Gospel Network Plus, Daily Gospel Network International. We are also on Spotify, Apple Music, and most of your digital radio platforms as well.
Oh, wow. Absolutely wonderful. So once again, we are in the Eye of the Beholder Art Gallery. We are at 123 Hyman on the 3rd floor here in San Antonio, Texas, 78205. And we look forward to seeing you come into the gallery and explore with us the beautiful world of art, the beautiful world of Black art.
Love it, love it. Thank you for spending time with us here at A Better Chance Television. With me, of course. You know, I am never formal unless I have to be. But
well, thank you for having us. Thank you for having me.
Anytime you need us, we will definitely share out anything you have. But guys, seriously, go check out the gallery. I can't tell you how to get there, so you might have to Google search and find it, because my directions, y'all who know me personally, we're not gonna talk about that. We just gonna pray about it today. But she's like, oh no.
And as I said, I want to see you at the gallery. So yeah, you may not want. She's wonderful, but maybe a little challenged directionally, you know. So
you don't want me to show you? I just say it's across from the SB, or that's what I was given. And somebody even told me it was downtown. I was like, it's not downtown. And then Miss Maria was like, it is. Monique, it really is.
Yes, downtown.
So thank you for tuning in. I am your wonderful host, Dr. Monique Robinson. We have truly been taking the school on the world of art today. And guess what, parents? You can now officially sign up. And I'm not judging, so you can't be mad. And if you don't win, you can't be mad at Miss Maria either. But at least now we know it's truly an artist that's going to be judging and stuff. It's been real, but we got to run. Talk to you until next.
For inspiration, motivation, and the good news of Jesus Christ. Look no further. The Daily Gospel Network has what you need. With more than 300 ministries from all over the country broadcasting every week, you're sure to get your dose of spirit-filled encouragement from the great programs on the Daily Gospel Network. Catch the Daily Gospel Network on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, all mobile devices, and the internet.
Tune in to A Better Chance for Youth television show with host Monique Robinson on the Daily Gospel Network, the television show dedicated to highlighting incredible students on their quest to change the world. Join us every week as we uplift the youth and help them on their journey to the bright future they deserve. Catch A Better Chance for Youth television show with host Monique Robinson on the Daily Gospel Network. Thanks for watching A Better Chance for Youth television show with your host Monique Robinson, the television show where we highlight incredible students in their quest to change the world. Join us each and every week as we uplift our youth and help them on their journey to the bright future they deserve. So until next time, God bless, from your friends on A Better Chance for Youth television show with your host Monique Robinson.